One trend that I've noticed amongst a lot of photographers is when they go on these trips, they bring a ton of lenses, a ton of gear, and even on low level situations, they bring a ton of lenses, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. When I go on shoot, I only bring one lens at a time. And this can honestly improve your photography experience as well as improve your photography skills. So let's talk about that in this video. What's up guys, it's Project Photography back in the video, and today when photographers carry a lot of lenses around, it does a few things. First of all, it distracts you from your photography at hand. Second of all, it puts a ton of weight on you when you're actually going out traveling, going on those low leverage situations and so on. And it just creates a ton of clutter that a lot of us photographers really don't need. And honestly, less is probably more in those situations. I find it very much unnecessary, and it actually degrades the photography experience when they're actually going out and shooting. And honestly, in the long run, this could hurt your photography skills. And this is something that I have vehemently spoken out against. And I think people should really reconsider what they put in their bags. Less is always more, and having a minimalistic mindset could actually improve photography and your experience. So that's what we're talking about in this video. And just as a caveat, I very much am saying these things from the perspective of going out on low leverage shoots, just hanging out with friends, just going out and shooting in a local area just for the fun of it, and even on travel trips sometimes. If you're not shooting for, big clients, for freelance work, for, you're going out there doing a landscape photography shoot with the specific purpose of doing landscape photography, would not recommend to take this advice of only using one lens. However, with that being said, I do recommend being a minimalistic mindset, only taking what you need. And the points that I bring up in this video will very much apply to those situations as well. But in this video, I very much want to talk about only bringing one lens. So with that being said, let's jump right into the video. And these are 3 reasons why you should be only carrying one lens to improve not only your photography skills, but also your photography experience. So the first reason why is actually to reduce weight in your bag. This allows you to travel lighter when you're actually going out and traveling. Bringing a bunch of lenses adds a ton of weight to your kit. When you're only bringing one lens, actually reduces a lot of that weight. It's really much unnecessary to bring all those lenses. So sticking to one lens helps you be minimalistic, lightens the load, and makes your photography experience a lot better. Because if I'm carrying a ton of lenses around with me, it really just puts a lot of strain on my back, puts a lot of strain on myself, makes me more tired in the long run. If you're on those long days, 12-hour days, sometimes when you're out there doing stuff, when you're out traveling and doing low leverage situations, you don't really want to be having all the weight on your back. It makes the photography experience a lot more degraded. And honestly, this just really allows you to be more minimalistic. And I think honestly, that is very much a positive in the long run. So having only one lens definitely reduces the weight when you're actually traveling and doing all those sorts of things. And by doing that, you could also have a much smaller bag. So no need to carry around those big, 30-liter bags. You can carry a nice small 3-liter sling if your lens is small enough. And honestly, that's a big plus in my book because, having that decluttered, having less stuff can honestly be more in the long run. So let's jump right into the second reason. And this one I think is a big reason why I actually personally only bring one lens with me on these smaller low leverage shoots, and it's to help you become a better photographer. Surprisingly, this actually makes you a better photographer. It increases your skills and so on. And the big reason why is that it forces you to be more creative. Having less options available to you when you're actually on the shoot makes you envision a shot and makes you actually execute that shot with the available equipment you have. By having a limited amount of equipment, it makes you find creative solutions to actually get the shot you want, that you envision in your head. And when you're doing that, this helps you build skills and tools that you can add to your photography toolkit. So when you're actually on a more important shoot, like a paid gig and so on, you can have those tools at your disposal with more equipment, with more options available to you, and it just improves your photography skills overall. Because if you're stuck using the same, 14-30, 24-70, 70-200, you always have the lens for that certain situation. But if you only have a fixed focal, like a 50mm, even just a 24-70, and you envision a shot, you are forced to actually use the gear that you have and get the shot that you want, rather than just having it kind of handed to you on a silver plate. This means that we're able to capture different perspectives, unique different looks that we otherwise would not have even thought about if we had all the other gear available to us. And I think that's really important as photographers, because if we keep on having this amazing gear available to us at all times, it really just makes us a little bit lazy. We don't have to really think on our feet. We don't have to move our feet, and we don't have to feel like we have to, go out there and really try hard and use our minds when it comes to having that creative mindset. So having less gear actually makes you a better photographer in the long run. So that's why I personally like shooting with only one lens, usually a fixed focal length, even a 24-7 keep the weight down, to improve your photography and so on is really huge. And finally, I think for me, this might be the most important reason why I actually carry only one lens. And of course, the other reasons are important, but this one definitely is the most important. It's reducing the clutter when it comes to actually shooting your photos. It helps you focus on your photography. And that is really the most important part of this video, because when you're actually out there shooting with your, let's just say you have 3-4 lenses at once. I really should not be having that many lenses, but if you have 3-4 lenses at once, it distracts you from your photography. Your photography is not now focused on the shot at the hand. It's now focused on what gear should I be using, what settings should I have, and all this sorts of other things. It really distracts from your reason and purpose while you're actually out there shooting. And now the focus really shifts from photography to the lenses, to the gear you have. It distracts you in the long run, and honestly, it just damages the overall images you're able to get. Of course, you're gonna have more access to lenses and so on, but what is really the point if it keeps getting in the way? It doesn't allow you to use your brain, it allows you to be creative and so on. It's just a huge distraction to your photography. And having only one lens really just makes it so that it's just you and the camera, nothing else, you and the camera and the scene at hand. And I think that's really important when you're actually out there shooting. One kind of rule that I've lived by when it came to my photography career is to be as simple and minimalistic as possible. And when you're simplifying your gear set, you're also simplifying the photography process. If we make the photography process really complex, really cluttered and so on, our photos are gonna come out that way. It's gonna show in our work. And if you have too many of these lenses, you're distracting from the photography at hand. And being able to just have one lens simplifies that photography process. And when you're actually out there shooting, you don't want to have to be consciously thinking about, okay, what lens should I be using in this situation? No, you just want to go out there, shoot photos with your camera. And that's actually a big reason why I've actually switched over to aperture priority instead of just using manual all the time, because you really just want to simplify the process. Don't make it too complicated on yourself. Focus on the photography, focus on the creative aspects of it. The gear will come later. And that's something that I think is really important when considering what gear to put in your bag. The camera gear at the end of the day should get out of your way and allow you to do your photography. And that's what having one lens really does for you. Keeping that photography process simple, clean, and easy. Get straight to the point, focus on the photography, not the gear. So let's jump right into the conclusion of this video. And I think this is a really important topic to discuss, because I think too many photographers have too much clutter when it comes to their actual bags. And the goal of camera gear should always help you capture better shots. It should always be that way. If your camera gear isn't helping you accomplish that, then it's not really doing that. And I think photographers get really in their mind when it comes to photography, when they say like, oh yeah, I need all this gear to make me a better photographer, but it really isn't that. It's about you as a photographer. It's about what you're able to put on the plate. It's about the skill set that you have. And camera gear, having less of it can sometimes mean more. It can sometimes allow you to get that shot, allows you to be decluttered, allows you to really focus on your photography skills. But if your camera gear is getting in your way, it's not serving the purpose of what camera gear should be doing. If it's making it more focused on the gear rather than photography, then it's not serving its purpose. And I think that's something that people really need to understand when it comes to photography. And a big proponent of my photography, at least, is minimalism. We want to be carrying as little as possible to serve our needs as best as possible. And I think that's something, and a motto that I very much live by. Even when I'm going on my landscape photography shoots, I'm only carrying 2 lenses at most. When I'm out there actually doing paid photography gigs, I only carry 2 to 3 lenses at most. I don't carry more than that because I feel like, again, it comes back to the issue of clutter. It comes back to the issue of not being able to focus on your photography. And it comes back to the issue of not being able to carry, being as lightweight and efficient as possible. You don't always need more to be a better photographer. Less is more. And if it gets a shot, then that's really all that matters at the end of the day. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know what you guys think about only carrying 1 lens in your bag. What is in your bag currently when you're actually going out there with your friends for fun? For me, it is a Nikon Z6 plus a 28mm, or I usually have these Z6 plus a 50mm. That's usually what I bring along with me, and honestly, it does great work and I come up with great images. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below, and if you haven't had a chance to visit my website, please do so down in the description bar below. I'm selling prints, you can see my portfolio, and you can just check out the website that I have. So anyways, guys, rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for experiencing the world with me today, and I will catch you guys in the next one.